Right then, okay. Chris at Fragmental recently did a video from a tag from Cam. Um, so I thought, why not? I'd give it a go. Of a house that has fragrances for all occasions. However, I thought I'd do two parts. I thought I'd do my own personal luxury niche house, which is a lot of samples because I don't have a lot of bottles to be fair, and a very affordable house. Some may call it an inspired house or a clone house or whatever, but we'll start with the more affordable list, and that is going to be from the House of Rosa Salas, who do inspired by versions. There's no point me saying what they're inspired by, because what's the point? So I'll just go through each of them, okay, for different situations. Okay, so first on the list is, of course, Black Tie, and that's from obviously Rosa Salas, and it's basically, oh, go on, I may as well say what it's inspired by. It's inspired by Tuxedo from Yves Saint Laurent, so it's a very, oh, it's a very violety. To me, I get a nice fresh violet in it, and vanilla and warmth and spices. It's beautiful. Oh, and I forgot to say, the first situation is of course an office or an interview. So yes, for that situation, I have Black Tie from Rosa Salas, which is a very classy fragrance. Now, next up on the list, if you couldn't tell from my fantastic props, is Date Night. And for this, I have picked Nuit Zen, if you can see that. And this is an inspired by version of Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. Now, basically, this is a wonderfully chocolatey, rosy fragrance. And again, these are inspired by versions, they're not the same. What I tend to find in this that makes this different to the original is I think this one's a little more oody. Not in a bad way. I like the oud in it. I think this has a little bit more to it than the original. As I'm sure you all know, I'm in love with the original. I think the original is fantastic. But I think this Nuit Zen is a perfect, lovely date night. After the date night scent, things have moved on a bit. They've moved to the bedroom, if you can't tell from the props. And for this, I have picked Ray's Noir, which basically is an interpretation of Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. Now, if you know either of these fragrances, oh my, you can see why this is good in the bedroom. Oh, it's spicy, smooth, dark vanillas, that coffee running through it. It's just so sensual, it's just so warm and brings you in, and it has that element of darkness running through it from the woods, and this is a very sensual, sexy scent. So that's Ray's Noir, and that's for in the bedroom frame. Now then, I don't have a prop for everything, but next on the list is clubbing. Okay, that's enough of that. And what I've picked for the clubbing fragrance is Mon Chéri, and this is an inspired by version of Tom Ford again. It's Lost Cherry. Oh, this is perfect for clubbing. It's certainly quite loud. It's super sweet, but it's so not offensive, and it doesn't actually get too much, and it does change into something a little more smoother and creamier. But it is absolutely bloody gorgeous, loud. Not too in your face, but you know when you're surrounded by sweaty bodies and all these fragrances and stuff, you need something sweet and in your face to cut through. And Mon Chéri, Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, certainly does that. Next on the list, you probably won't be able to tell, is Spring and Summer, and for that I have picked Jardin d'Amour, and this is basically what I like to call it is a fruit rum in rum or vodka, something slightly alcoholic. It's just sweet. Oh god, uber fruity. It's chewy, lovely, gooey, fruity, all mixed together. I like this a bit better than So 1980s, but that's personal taste. This is less tropical. This is more fruity, and perfect for a summer's day or a nice spring day. So that's Jardin d'Amour. Next up is winter, obviously after summer, and for that I have picked Salas, number 13 Salas, which is an inspired version of Baccarat Rouge 540. Now you don't need me to really go into detail about what this smells like. We know what it smells like. It's that beautiful kind of burnt sugary loveliness with that lovely sweet cosy notes running through it. I do love the smell of this, and I love the smell of the original, and this between you and me is quite close, but I never said that. But it performs like it lasts forever and ever, and it is lovely. It's just even this one is too strong for me. You can see this is the first one I ever bought from Rosa Salas, well over a year and a half ago, and I have wore it, but it's just, you only need one spray and you're good to go for a night. So for winter, that's Salas. Now next up we have Dressed Up. You know, a nice evening out where you might need to be dressed up, meet someone's parents, I don't know, go to the bank manager, just look dressed up and classy basically. And what I've picked for this from Rosa Salas is Amethyst, and this is an inspired version of Parfum de Marly's Herod, but with a very different touch to it. It has that DNA running through it, but it's not the same. It's not meant to be the same. This is a very tobacco-y, dark fragrance. It has little bits of fruit running through it. There's definitely vanilla. But what really adds to this is the smoke, the incense. Beautiful, very classy, very dressed up fragrance. Very approachable and alluring. So that is Amethyst from Rosa. Right, next up is kind of like a casual day out, casual drink. Going off to pub with lads, which, believe it or not, at one point in my life I did go to pub with lads. But yes, for that I have picked Gladiator. Gladiator is an inspired by version of Invictus, and if I I know it's hard to imagine, if I was ever off to the pub for a drink, in beer garden, what have you, then something like this, well, alright, they'd be more shocked if I wore something like this than something with a rose in it, but I would wear Invictus just to fit in, and this is a very excellent version. It's fresh, sweet, it's lovely, it's got that aquatic touch to it. I shouldn't like it, but I do like this. I like this inspired by version. So that is Gladiator from Rosa. Don't really have a prop for this, but we'll say something that's very me. So this is obviously signature scent, and next up is Forest Mist. The reason I picked Forest Mist is it's just a fragrance I absolutely love. It's basically iris, vanilla, pine. So it's got a little bit of soft greenness, but it's very tender and very sensual. It's not loud, it's not in your face, it's not going to offend people around you. It's such an easy everyday fragrance that I think Forest Mist would be the perfect signature. And the last one is sort of a nondescript event. We'll call it a family event, hence the card. We have to go meet a hideous family, but you might also meet nice people that you've never met before. So you want to make an impression, but you want to not go over the top, and what I've picked for that is Alpha. This is enough to impress someone and not be weird, but hopefully keep your family away from you. But no, this is an inspired by version of Dior Homme Intense. Who doesn't like that? If you can't wear it yourself like me because it's too strong, then you certainly appreciate the fragrance. And this is like a sort of lighter, fresher version of it. So the fruits are a bit more turned up. It's a very enjoyable fragrance, very approachable, very lovely, will leave a nice lasting impression. That's Alpha.